if you're one of our haters who are out there watching.
I want to warn people about hypnoporn.
We need to stay meta.
Stop that.
Need new tires? Like what?
If Jim would shut up for a second.
Oh, high fidelity.
Okay, don't tell me to shut up.
I'm not whining.
I eat doggies. I eat doggies. Feels like a party.
Stop that. It's a war. They have made it so that I cannot be celebrating July 4th.
I don't care. I'm gonna lie, I'm not gonna pretend. I don't care. How do I think? That's what I think. I don't care.
This is 6 Degrees of Stew. You don't need to stay meta, but I'm glad you're here.
And all in the name of freedom. And
We can, I'll play a little bit more of this and then we can skip to where you caught that interesting point, because I think then we can talk about his AIDS denialism stuff that you had caught.
And all in the name of freedom, and laughably as it is, transparency. What we're actually seeing is the old system which the cult created being destroyed by cult operatives to allow the next stage of human control, far more severe, founded on artificial intelligence, to play out. And to do that, you've got to get rid of regulations, and you've got to get rid of any institutions that would put a block on your playing out of the next stage of this even more extreme human control agenda. And so we have deregulation. What does that mean? That means allowing the corporations and the AI corporations and the financial corporations to run amok without challenge or restraint. And, you know, any system that is created by this global cult is going to be corrupt.
Global cult, baby.
You know, within it are going to be some genuine people who just go into work and do their job and whatever department it may be and go home. But the core of them is going to be corrupt. So when you move in to crash the system so you can open the way for your next stage, then finding corruption is a doddle, not least because you know it's there to start with. And this week, the vice president, J.D. Vance, has been speaking at a Paris AI conference to world leaders. And what did he do? He called for no, quote, excessive, he basically means any, regulation of artificial intelligence as it plays out and becomes ever more prominent, ever more central, and ever more controlling. And J.D. Vance has an interesting background because his political career has been funded by a guy called Peter Thiel, who is a co-founder of a company called Palantir, which was seed funded by the CIA to get it going.
He's a what?
Is he going to get into the blood?
I think he's going to go. Steph, you watched this. Does he go? He goes to the J.D. Vance clip, right? He doesn't go into blue blood, does he?
You know about Peter Thiel and the blood, right?
Yes, I do know about Peter Thiel and the blood.
I don't know about that.
Okay, Peter Thiel was involved in some company that was infusing like teenagers' blood into older people as like a rejuvenation
Ambrosia.
and that put him up as like, oh, see, this really is all real. They really are vampires up there. So again, when they picked Vance, who everyone knew was a Peter Thiel acolyte, the QAnon people went into a tizzy.
A cognitive dissonance. They have to find a way to like how can we say this is okay because Peter Thiel is into this blood stuff, right?
Yeah, the way that they came up with was to say that he's just wearing a mask. He's this guy that supposedly faked his own death. I forget the guy's name, some actor, but they decided that he was an actor and that he's not really JD Vance, and that Trump picked him or his figure so that all the people doing Oppo research would be led to this blood transfusing cult and discover that it was all evil, and this was how he was going to wake up the normies by running
God bless them. My gosh,
was
the way
running
they
some
twist
actor
and
in a
turn.
JD Vance mask. I'm sorry, what did you say?
Well, go ahead, Shelby.
Oh, I'm done. I just said God bless them, the way they twist and turn. That's it. I was just
I was going to say that I posted in the chat an archive link for a QAnonymous episode. They did an episode way back when. It was the headline episode 11 featuring Travis View. So it was when Travis was still an occasional guest. They talk about one of these startup companies. I think they were in San Francisco, Ambrosia, where it's almost like the vampire facials, but you were getting blood from like teenagers. It transfused into your veins.
Yeah, and that's the guy that funded JD Vance's career.
Is it? I mean, it's so, and like the way that they have to explain away all of this, and just I can't imagine being at this heightened level of just constantly having to come up with things. Just the cognitive dissonance, like the mental anguish that has to take to go through. I mean, just consistently.
And it's interesting to note that he calls this show Dot Connector, and you hear him describe it himself in the aftermath of what to me sounded like a mini stroke. You have, once you see, it's like the blue car effect or the hidden arrow in the U-Haul logo. Once someone points it out to you, it's the FedEx logo. I'm sorry. Once someone points it out to you, or once you ride in a blue car, all of a sudden you see a lot of these blue cars. It's a frequency bias. He has created this entire concept of connecting things. And once you do that, it does run off of the same addictive premise for the conspiracy theory addiction. You can't stop.
Bader-Meinhof syndrome.
Bader-Meinhof syndrome. I've never heard that one either. I've got to dig back into your stuff and reread and catch up on the new stuff too.
I don't think I ever wrote about Bader-Meinhof syndrome. I don't know. I look at my my index and I see articles and I'm like, wait,
I wrote about that.
Like I have a sketch to write that article. Wait, I already wrote that like a year ago.
I know. I forgot that you wrote that one on David Icke, and then I looked and I was like, I went to comment. And I was like, oh wait, I already commented on this before.
I don't even remember what I said about him.
It's a really good article. You should read it
Thank
again.
you.
It's good.
I should read it. I might learn something.
I think the headline of the article was "You got to hand it to David Icke," and the first sentence was "David Icke was right."
It's actually. Oh wait, nope.
It must have been before I knew better.
It's David Icke, Controlled Opposition Against the Reptilian Illuminati. That's the title of the one.
I was looking for it and I can't find it. It might have been in some old obscure conspiracy book that I used to have, and I can't find it again. But I think it was Arizona Wilder said that like David Icke was taking a nap on her couch. There was some woman who claimed to have been a mind control sex slave for the Illuminati who had David Icke over, and David Icke fell asleep on her couch. And while he was sleeping, because his guard was down and he couldn't project his image properly, she saw all the reptilian scales.
Well, you know, we really could, like, if you start looking at his forehead, I can start to see some nodules.
And the way he licks his lips, that's very reptilian.
And his fingers are very elongated. I'm just saying. I'm here to be a conspiracy theorist.
There's an interview that is out there somewhere where like the picture kind of glitches, and it's very obviously just like, you know, film glitch.
Yeah.
But like every like QAnon person has passed this around is like, David Icke is really a reptilian. He's controlled opposition for the reptilians.
And that is where
you reap what you sow, David.
That is one way that you can tell if the belief structure that you're in is bullshit or if it isn't. Consensus reality is consensus reality because of the word consensus. You know, 9 out of 10 dentists prefer, you know, Crest toothpaste. Well, the conspiracy theorist is that 1 in 10 that doesn't like it. Okay, that's basically what consensus reality is. And
yeah, but you know, at one point, you know, 9 out of 10 people thought that the sun revolved around the Earth.
Well, we're getting around. We're getting back there again.
So I don't think that's necessarily the best judge of reality. I mean, our consensus reality does evolve.
But see, he corrects me again when I'm wrong. Thank you, and I'm sorry.
Stop saying you're sorry. I told you you are fine. We need to course correct Steph on saying she's sorry all the time.
I tried.
I try too. I've been trying. I'm like, stop it. Stop saying you're sorry for being you.
And it provides surveillance technology and data processing technology in the name of control to the military, to the Pentagon, to the intelligence community, and not just in America either. So you look at this group.
That's a good idea. We'll put a zapper collar on it.
All of them connected to Peter Thiel that have encircled the Trump administration, pushing artificial intelligence and this whole next stage of the control grid. And that's not an accident. It's by design. They're trashing the old to bring in the new. And this cult created the old, and it's creating the new. So this is J.D. Vance talking.
He's just going to play clips of J.D. Vance. This has to be his worst nightmare. Like, if he believes even 50% of what he's saying, like AI coming to fruition, Elon Musk being accepted by all of them, like this world he's living in, this modern times, really has to be David Icke's worst nightmare, I would think, from what he's evolved in, if he believes even 50% of what he's put out.
But does he look scared?
No. Does he look bothered? I don't know if anybody knows.
He never.
What's
he
her
never
name?
does.
Yeah. Do I look bothered? I can't think of her name. She's a hilarious comedian, British. But yeah, has to be his worst nightmare. Steph, what's that timestamp for where he talks about the thing in Gaza?
Hold on, sorry. I'm just going.
Is that dot not helping on your forehead? Like the P sticker's not helping on your forehead?
Yeah, Chris Keys, your quantum healing dots aren't working, so I'm gonna have some questions about some other stuff you've done. Okay, in Fudgy, the Fudgy timestamp, start at 45:06.
40.
And then I have 2 links for you when we get to that part in the studio chat.
Oh, I will open those when I start to play this then.
Lying, by which time 3 or 4 or 5, 6 more lies have gone out. This is what they're doing. And here's one. The $50 million condom delivery to Gaza. You remember that one? It's outrageous. Oh, $50 million to Gaza for condoms. And then Trump said, that's what Musk said, and then Trump said, oh, yeah, and they're using them for bombs. Turns out it wasn't true. The condoms went to another country, which was about health. And Musk has had to admit that what he said was not true. And it kind of is summed up. I mean, Mark Twain is quoted as saying this, but other people have been too.
Real quick, just
Doesn't
because
matter.
Steph picked this up, and I know she told Quacks too, just so everybody can hear this word that he uses.
There's so many lies out there that you try to keep up with them by researching to see how they're lying, by which time 3 or 4 or 5, 6 more lies have gone out. This is what they're doing. And here's one. The $50 million condom delivery to Gaza. You remember that one? It's outrageous. Oh, $50 million to Gaza for condoms. And then Trump said, that's what Musk said, and then Trump said, oh, yeah, and they're using them for bombs. Turns out it wasn't true.
What were they for, David?
The condoms went to another country, which was about health. And
there we go. And Steph, do you want to explain why that was important and how you caught that?
Because according to David Icke, AIDS isn't real. And according to David Icke's buddy, Credo Mutwa, who is now dead, I did put a link about Credo Mutwa in a Wikipedia link earlier in the chat. AIDS doesn't exist. And at the very least, Musk is quoting this Kary Mullis guy who apparently suffered from Nobel disease. He did work with the PCR test, and then he came out and said that AIDS doesn't cause HIV. Now, scroll up so everybody can see the date on this article. Okay, and what's the date
12th,
on
2025?
And what's the date on the dot connector?
This came from, hang on, let me minimize it. This is from 13 days ago.
Okay, so this article, Icke has editorial control. It's his website. This article, and this article, by the way, is just a fucking meme and a tweet.
Yeah.
That's their article. And this was before the dot connector episode. Icke is well aware that he is an AIDS denialist, that he promotes AIDS denialism. Those condoms that were sent to a country in Africa that was also named Gaza, those condoms were sent there because of an AIDS crisis in that region. And if you notice that Icke, and he said, I think that um's important too.
Mm-hmm.
That's
that was a pause. He was
placeholder.
like, for health.
And what could condoms possibly be health for, David?
Yeah.
Syphilis.
So this is something for us to
True.
consider. There are two scenarios here. He doesn't really believe in AIDS denialism, which I don't think that's the case. He understands, because we have demonstrated to you very, very clearly how savvy and how very smart he is. And I put a comment in the chat that his eloquence and the fact that he doesn't sound like a raving lunatic like Dan Bidandi, like Alex Jones, that makes him more palatable to people. And that's why Russell Brand can Russell Brand will suck you in with the accent. But the accent to Americans is very attractive. And it does sound very distinguished. And, hey, when you get Richard Dawkins talking about like how trans people are evil, it sounds a little less evil than when Alex Jones says it.
Yeah.
So this, I think this is, I don't think that this is David disavowing his AIDS denial and that he doesn't believe it. He understands that this is a very critical time right now. And he understands that there are going to be a lot of people coming his way because of the Trump and the Musk stuff. And he doesn't want to bring up that AIDS isn't real. I mean, you don't eat the baby's faces until you've tasted a finger.
I think David Icke is incredibly smart and crafty. I do. I think he knows what he's doing. He's incredibly
proud of myself.
We're back to never go full reptilian.
Yes, never go full reptilian. He's incredibly crafty and smart. He knows what he's doing. He's been at this for a long time, as long as Alex Jones, What Alex Jones and him David Icke went full God in 91. So when did Alex Jones
crazy.
Get on?
I think Alex was
after
on public
Icke?
Access in 93, maybe.
So Icke was pre-Jones?
Yeah.
So Ike's been at this for a while.
Yeah.
Well,
and I mean, this
Ike
is
really
old
evolved.
hat.
When Ike was coming out and saying all this, about how he's the son of God and everything, he hadn't quite gone, he hadn't gone full reptilian yet. That didn't happen till quite a few years lator.
When does he discover the reptilians? When does he come about that? Like, I'm just curious how he, all of a sudden was like, you know what? They might, reptilians might be into this.
That was like late 90s. You're talking like 98, 99 or somewhere right in there when he first started talking about reptilians. And interestingly enough, Steph, I don't know if you know, but when he was talking about how people were telling him about seeing people turning into reptilians, one of those was Jordan Maxwell.
Jordan Maxwell. That sounds so familiar.
Matrix of Power.
Jordan Maxwell does sound familiar. I'm trying to.
He's another big conspiracy theorist. I thought
Okay, it says Jordan Maxwell show. It says he discusses astrology, Nostradamus.
Oh gosh.
Jordan Maxwell's hilarious. In the same way as like David Icke, in that they get into these weird pseudo etymological things where they
the words.
Like the Davidians and Dravidians sound similar, doesn't it?
And almost like the Spaceballs joke, like Druish sounds like Jewish.
Yeah, well, he got a lot of that from Jordan Maxwell too. One of the things that I will like, we've gone on this whole thing about how you don't have to hand it to David Icke, but the one thing that I will hand him is that he actually cites his sources.
Yes,
for somebody like me, that is just like a wonderful thing, because I'm so used to these people who are like, I was told this by aliens. And it's like, okay. So now I got to really work to figure out where he figured that, where he got that from. But with David Icke, I could just read the footnotes.
David Icke's like, this is where I read this. This is who I took this from.
Here's the problem, and I can give you a specific example. I'm pretty sure that this one comes out of Children of the Matrix, where he talks. He addresses everybody's common question, the frequently asked question when they're faced with the enormity of evil of this global cabal, because everyone goes, how could people be that evil? And he said, well, I interviewed this guy in the CIA, and he lifted up his shirt and he showed me that he had this weird IV bag that was medically attached to him and had a fluid in it. And this fluid had to be replaced every 8 hours, because when you join the CIA, they do this like biohacking your body that you will die if if you don't get what's in this bag every 8 hours or so. And so the CIA guy is telling David Icke, well, this is why we comply with orders, because they did this to us. So what I did was
Sounds like a colostomy bag to me.
I went and I looked to see if there were any other reference. Now, this wasn't actually something that he footnoted in his book, but I went looking to see if anyone else had a story similar to this, right? What I found was someone talking about it, and then that linked right back to David Icke. So, and some of David Icke's links within his books do a circular link. You'll see on his like footnote that he quotes this source, and then you look that source up, and that source is quoting him.
Oh, David.
So that happens a lot too. And he also does, in his footnotes, I saw a lot of Fritz Springmeier when I was rereading Children of the Matrix.
Yeah, he cites Springmeier in relation to the adrenaline stuff.
Is Springmeier, is that who's the one that wrote the pamphlet that was in the Reading terminal that you saw? And you didn't pick it up?
Well, those
See,
weren't.
I told you I read your work.
Those weren't pamphlets. Those were more like telephone books. That was Valdemar Valerian.
Oh, there we go, Valerian. I told you I read your article.
And Icke does cite him as well. But Fritz Springmeier is the 13 Bloodlines of the Illuminati guy.
Oh, okay.
He's a big John Todd fan.
And if you saw, Icke had the Council of the 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is that comes right out of John Todd. Like so much of this goes back to John Todd.
Okay, yeah. No, and I was reading your article and I kind of chuckled because Taj and I love the Reading terminal. And I was like, oh, and he didn't pick that up, and it's worth so much money now. He is probably really kicking himself.
Well,
when he saw that strange book,
$30 back then, and I mean, I wasn't going to spend $30 on something that was like, it looked like it was made in Kinko's.
You mean like
was.
Reading, like Shocktoberfest Reading, via Factory Outlets Reading?
No, the Reading terminal is
okay.
It's where the end of the Reading line goes. So it's in Philadelphia, but it's what the end of the train line that went to Reading.
It is the most amazing place ever to go.
Listen to us, 3 Pennsylvania nerds.
and if anyone goes to the Reading terminal, you got to go to Beeler's and get the donuts because they're the best donuts in Philadelphia.
Everything is so fantastic there. I could have spent
not everything.
No, you're right, not everything. But I could spend a whole day there. But we did that in Chinatown. And
hey,
I think we came and saw somebody named Quacks. We had fun. But yeah, it was cool.
and when we were out there back in May, Quacks took my now he's my British husband, but my then British boyfriend, to have an authentic cheesesteak.
He surely didn't take him to Gino's or that other shit place.
No, we didn't go to the racist cheesesteak places.
No, we went to Zio's. But for those who don't know the lore, I have cooked dinner for both of the other people.
Yes.
That you see here.
And it was delicious. And I'm a vegetarian, and might I say that Quacks was kind enough to make sure that I had a vegetarian meal before meat was added to it.
He made sure that I had a keto-friendly dish.
Oh my gosh, Quacks, you're the best. You're too sweet to us.
And he sat down, he told my husband, like the Jim Stewart's in 101. It was just fascinating.
We talked about everything, like everything. You name it, we covered it. Oh, it was good times. We're coming back out again. Next time we go down to see our son.
Yeah.
And Quacks has the picture of Toothy on his bookcase.
Really bad OPSEC, like random person who appears on the scene anonymously is like, hey, I'm coming through Philadelphia. Oh yeah.
Why don't you come see me? Sure, I'll cook dinner for you. I might as well trust this random person on the internet. He seems pretty cool. I'll go to his house.
Although we did meet in a neutral place first.
We did. That is true. We did have dinner we had lunch
in
first.
Kensington. Kensington's neutral.
We did not meet in Kensington. No.
Do not look up Kensington online. Do not.
How funny is this? Taj was watching YouTube the other day, and they have a live camera feed of Kensington, like a part of it, a street. And he's like, "Why would they put a live camera feed of Kensington?" He goes,
So they have evidence for the police.
They have a live feed of Kensington to make MAGA people out in rural areas
feel better.
Think that the cities are scary. Heroin, fentanyl riddled.
It looks like McKeesport. It looks like Pittsburgh. Like, it's no big deal. Like,
when
there's people walking by doing their daily life,
When I did right before I did my second episode with Spence on his podcast about conspiracy theory addiction, I got sucked into a Kensington rabbit hole on YouTube, and there is this whole genre of YouTube videos. Basically, I guess it's city shaming.
Really?
And what it there are some that go around and they actually do decent documentary work where they're talking to the drug addicts on the streets, and that they're genuine sympathy and empathy for these people. And then there are, in fact, this is a little known fact, something that I learned in this rabbit hole, that Kensington is the #1 despair tourist destination.
That's
People
so gross.
will come to Kensington just to do videos of people dying of fentanyl.
That's gross.
Yeah, there's a long history. Philadelphia has long been known as having the purest heroin on the East Coast. And therefore people will come from all over when they get addicted to heroin because they find out that Philly's got the best heroin. So then we got all the heroin addicts. And they get pushed off into various places, and that's long been a heroin street. But then this feeds into a right-wing propaganda narrative of the Democrat run city hellholes. They want Philadelphia to be demonized, and like, oh, this is what happens in a Democrat city.
It's really quite sad to take pleasure in other human sufferings and to exploit a problem. And it's like, I don't know, like cities, towns, like I have issues in my own small town here. Like, it's so exploitative, and I mean, it's a good propaganda tool for them, I guess.
And it's also the point that if you have a camera in your hand and you're in that place at that time to get that footage of a person who needs help, you better fucking help them afterwards. You better do something.
Nope, they're gonna keep driving.
Even if you're handing them
Ben
$10.
Shapiro ain't getting out of the car in Kensington.
No.
Right. So that's the thing, and the fact that there are people who go out there for either a political purpose, which is so gross, or they go out there to film this shit just for lols and likes.
Exactly.
Yeah, clicks.
It's really quite. It's gross. It is so gross. I will never. Well, humans, the good, the bad, the ugly. What do you?
Sorry that we got on a big.
Yeah, sorry. You mentioned Reddington. Well, it led from talking about adrenochrome bloodlines to a book it found in Redding.
Red adrenochrome. The red adrenochrome terminal.
Hey, that's what, you know what? We're not holding a gun to anybody's head to watch us here stream or to listen to it. So they're here at their own free will.
Well, that's what they want you to think.
That's, yeah.
Everybody who's currently watching us, look, anyone who's listening to this recording, you're all in on the secret, okay? Everyone who's currently listening to us is listening to us through Neuralink.
Uh-oh.
How many people are listening to us?
Right now it shows 6. We did have 12, and then I will tell you the Spotify things, and then you can see on the Twitch thing, it will show how many view counts. Like Steph and I, like people, like because of work and stuff, like one of our things we had, like I think it's 144 views on there, and then like my Spotify, when I put it up, the recordings, I get like anywhere between, it depends on the content and stuff. It can go from 50 to 200. It just depends on. So across all platforms, you can get up to 500 views.
I'm just asking that because I think this is just something that people really, really need to hear right now. We've talked about the dangers of how Blue Anon sucks people into conspiracism. This is such a dangerous time right now. We are all in a dangerous
and I also
spot.
post on Vimeo too. It'll be up on Vimeo, so I get views over there too. I cross post everywhere, so it gets views everywhere. A lot of people can't show up for lives, and I don't fault them for that. That's why I post it everywhere else.
I just want people to understand what a precipice we are on, and we've been talking about people like Jim Stewartson for years, but we also have to look at the similarities in all the ways that Jim is like Alex. He's also very much like Ike in that he can suck people in with one little thing and just before, I've been, like the Jim Stewartson testimonials should read something like, I've been following Jim for 3 months and my family left me, and I think that the government is talking to me through the refrigerator. Like,
exactly.
I mean, it goes dark really fast.
It does. What was I going to say?
Well, while you're thinking of that, something Dee mentioned.
Yeah.
Is that now that people have heard my voice and they can actually compare it to Jason Miller's.
Maybe they will quit accusing you of being Jason Miller, who you are not.
They'll just say that he altered his voice.
Yes, that's what she was like. He used the voice modulator. But if anyone wants to try and look up Jason Miller's voice, you got to look up Jason Miller's strategic sorcery. Because if you just put in Jason Miller into YouTube, you're going to get the Trump guy.
I thought about that too. I was like, they are going to probably try a voice matching thing, or say like he used some kind of voice changers that I can vouch for. This is actually Quacks's voice. Steph and I both talked to him face to face. Yeah. So don't be absurd. Not Jason Miller.
I can't tell you how much I have learned. I know it sounds, like, you're sucking ass, you love Quack so much, blah blah blah. Yeah, well, I think it's important that people acknowledge that, just the three of us here, and then we have Muggsy and we have Spencer, we have
Nicole and Taylor. We had we had so many people here, and there'll be people after this too, and it's great, and I appreciate that, and I think it's important.
And this is how online communities theoretically should work, where we don't always get along all the time, all of us, but we figure it out, we work it out, and this person knows about this, so I go to them. This person knows about that. Oh, hey, do you know someone who specializes in blah blah blah? No, but I know someone who does. And this is, I just like the cooperation, and I like the continued growth that it fosters in everybody.
Exactly.
Blah, blah, blah is not my specialty, which is why this is my first podcast.
Well, you did great. And now, Steph and I are going to be like, if something else comes up, hey, Quacks, we know you know how to do this now. You want to come on and talk?
This is fun.
We know you know how to do this.
Again.
And we should definitely do an art bell, the three of us together.
Well, Quacks just said he was fun. This was fun, and he would definitely do this again. So now we have him. We hooked him,
and we definitely want to do one on TIs.
Yeah. I think gang stalking and TIs, the targeted individuals, it's very.
You'll get me talking about Stacy.
Oh my God.
And Sarah. Speaking of your refrigerator,
I came across Sarah in your thing when I was reading stuff. I was like, I forgot about her.
Yeah.
And what is scary, aside from Ned, everybody knows the famous story about the Canadian guy that Jim Stewartson took $10,000 and had sent the guy to a psychiatric ward. Aside from him, this was a while ago. I was just idly scrolling through accounts that follow Jim, and I maybe looked through about 50 of them, just whatever showed up, however, those factors come up. And within that like group of about 50, I saw 3 people with like the word like targeted individual
Oh yeah.
in their name.
The first argument there, really my first actual interaction with Jim Stewartson online was when he freaked out because Q Origins said that gang stalking was a conspiracy theory, and Jim was like, fuck you if you're saying that these people aren't really, like, some of my good friends are targeted individuals, and it's like, or he said some of my victims of gang stalking, actually, is what he said. And I really think, okay, like I've got homework for you guys before we do the TI thing.
Yeah.
You need to read all of the Ellen articles.
Oh, the Ellen articles. I read those a very long time ago. I will read those again before we do TI.
Yeah, because she is a complete TI, and it was her and her husband that convinced Jim that I was Jason Miller, because they were the ones that were connecting all these dots. And I really think that if it wasn't for those two who were, like, I don't know too much about Sean, but Ellen's definitely a targeted individual.
I remember reading that because I was quite shocked, because I don't think a lot of people know that history, because that's Sean's wife, who used to be Jim and them's co-host on Radicalized True Survive, and then he quit. Yep. And Ellen's his wife, and she is very much a targeted individual. And when you read these articles and things that happen, it is, woo.
And I had no idea why she really absolutely hated my guts. I could never quite figure it out until somebody pointed out to me. I don't know if they want to be named, but somebody pointed out to me that she used to be involved in this New Age company that pushed Ascended Masters stuff. And of course, I was very, very anti New Age at the time. So apparently, like, that was a personal affront to her. And it's because of my anti New Age stance, I believe, that, I became this central pillar of Jim's conspiracy theory. Like, if you look at the first list of enemies that he put out,
yeah,
if you see the full transcript before that, she's like, oh, well, let's list off who you think, and she lists me and a couple of other people, and then he gives the list, and he doesn't include me.
It's interesting,
because you could see she was pushing me as like a
to
central
be on that list.
Yeah.
And I want to be clear how. Okay, when back when I was a conspiracy theorist, okay, I thought all school shootings, all mass shootings were false flags at this point. Okay, this was right around San Bernardino, and I listened to a Coast to Coast with George Norrie about like this case about someone who was being gang stalked supposedly. I was like, wow, this is a really fascinating topic. And then right around that time, my BFF from Philly, who you did get to meet, Quacks, started believing that he was a victim of gang stalking. Now, keep in mind, I was a conspiracy theorist, okay? My approach to his experience was that I believe that you believe this is happening. And I was a conspiracy theorist, and I still had the foresight, the realization, the understanding that I could not feed what I recognize as a delusion. And I want to make it, and that if you have a friend who thinks they're being gang stalked, who thinks they're a targeted individual, who thinks they have more Jellens, you have to assure them you believe that what they are experiencing is real to them, but you have to acknowledge to them that you don't think it's generally real. And the fact that Jim feeds these TIs means, hey,
he's done it. I've caught him most recently a couple months ago, 2 times. He platformed him on a Twitter space and just fed into it and didn't know how to stop it, and they just steamrolled him like true targeted individuals, and it was horrifying to hear.
I've referred to them as QuacksAnon is a support group for targeted individuals.
It honestly is. It really is.
And most of these support groups don't work the way you think they do. Okay, these are support groups in the same way that if you went to an AA meeting and they were serving martinis under the table where no one could see. Okay, that's how these are support groups, where they are feeding it.
When you go to Narcotics Anonymous group and like to pick up somebody after the meeting, and everyone's standing around with a cigarette and a gigantic cup of coffee, and their hands shaking as they're sucking in as much nicotine as they can, talking about how they're now drug free.
Yeah, exactly. That's a perfect analogy right there.
It's just a lighter. It's a lighter drug addiction, and they all feed into it. It's all They've got the coffee machine right there. The coffee machine is a fixture in a 12-step program, and it's a drug.
And they're not, and I think that this is something, because these paranoid delusions are historically seen. The first case was Matthew Tilley in the 1800s, and he was considered the first
known case,
right, of paranoid schizophrenia. And he had this vision of government agents, like some secret government group that had something called an heirloom. And I mean air as in AIR, as in one of the elements, that floated in the air, and it was some kind of loom, and they were using this to beam like things at him and to punish him remotely. And he was considered the first diagnosed case of paranoid schizophrenia. These people that are walking around with manifesting the TI symptoms, some of these people are paranoid schizophrenics. Others are suffering how do you say it?
Folie-à-deux. Or
Yes,
it's not Folie-à-deux. It's the other one. It's mass. It goes further than Folie-à-deux. It's not two. It's I can't think of the next step. I'll get to it anyways, but you know what I mean.
But yeah,
we'll
so
have plenty of time to talk about all that in the TI.
Yeah, I know we got distracted here.
I'm sorry, but
rein us in, Quacks. Rein us in.
Nerds. We're such nerds.
Nerds. Before, do you guys want to take a look at Alex and David battling out for a few minutes?
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah,
that'll bring us back to the subject at least.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, but this is the last kind of video I have, and then we could just break in and talk about whatever here with David Icke and stuff. But this is what Knowledge Fight covered, stuff that we had listened to. But this is them really going, and it's interesting because Knowledge Fight, they're amazing. I love their podcast, but you only get to see clips, and then you listen to the commentary. So like you don't get to see David's face. You don't get to see Alex's face. So to see Alex going, and David going at him, where David's just kind of like, now Alex, it's an interesting dichotomy, to say the least. And
that lion image is the image that he uses for his book publishing.
Yes, he talks about it with Quacks, the guy you knew it in that Vice documentary. He shows him that painting and where he got it made and who did it for him and everything. He explains that painting to the person. It's really funny.
Look at the AI agenda and how this fits in. You've got people, your Bill Gateses and your Klaus Schwabs, and what they're doing
I don't know who she is
going hard sell.
Or why they show this blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl.
AI, connecting AI to the human brain and human genetics. That's what needs to happen. But of course, there's a vast number of what I call pushbackers in the United States, in Europe, in the world in general.
I'm surprised Alex showed Elon Musk in that costume.
And by the way, Bill Gates came out 3 months ago and said, we've got to stop the hard sell. He actually said that.
Yeah, well, so along comes Elon Musk, and Elon Musk does the soft sell. He is saying, "Oh, I'm worried about AI. Oh, God, it's very terrible. Could be the end of humanity." And then continues to push the AI agenda. But it's not too bad. It can't be as bad because Elon's doing it, and he owns Twitter, and he's letting people back on Twitter. And these are the things I'm saying that, you know, we've got to keep questioning these
No,
things.
I know what you're
and
saying.
not get
They
pulled in.
did 5 years of total censorship, and it failed. So they said, go to plan B and bring in a co-opter to create a false dialectic of Elon on one end of freedom and the hard sellers on the other. And you're saying now we're missing the whole paradigm over there because they put us into a small window.
What I'm saying is, look at the outcome. What is the outcome of the hard sell? What is the outcome of the soft sell? At the end of those roads is the same thing. Humans connected to artificial intelligence. And what you're trying to do is pull the people that are resisting the hard sell, you're trying to pull them in.
Well, that's
While other networks lie to you about what's happening now, InfoWars tells you the truth
commercials
about
are
what's
fucking
happening.
startling.
Visit Infowars.com/show and share the link today.
They do that. They do that on purpose.
And we've got him.
I'm going to tell you,
selling author.
like, because this is from Alex's Twitter page. Like, I'm playing this from Twitter. Like, so I'm used to it if I'm watching it on Rumble. That fucking, like, I was like, whoa.
It's very jarring, and it's just like Bill Cooper used to open up his radio show with the sirens and the sounds of dogs barking and boot stomping, because it's like Rage Against the Machine, like, you know, singing through the bullhorn. They want an emotional response, pounding, thumping. That's why Alex uses Carmina Burana's O Fortuna for music, that swelling apocalyptic sound. And he uses a lot of heavy metal, a lot of industrial rock and shit. There's a reason for that.
Well, it certainly would shock you. Like, hey, wake up. If you weren't paying attention, go to my go here and go buy my shit.
Yeah.
Former
Cooper-
top BBC
sorry,
broadcast, former head of the Green.
Cooper's introductions that was legendary.
Oh, his introductions. I was listening to preparing for this, and I was listening to Spotify, and something played next, and I was like, is this still? And because I started, it's Bill Cooper. No, it wasn't Bill Cooper. It was Art Bell, and I didn't realize, and it was like middle of his show. I must have been listening to one, and his music just gets you. I mean, I was like, wow. Some of their music is just so good in the way they did stuff.
Oh, Art had a great selection. I have a Spotify playlist of
I have that. I have your
of
list.
the
Yeah.
songs. Yeah. Oh God. And what's that? I live among the creatures of the night. That, oh God, I love that song so much.
That's a good way to get people, though, like good tunes, you know. And Alex is good at that too. And he puts those songs in too when he used to sing and stuff before, you know. I don't think he does that as much as he used to anymore. Like, he would really jam out to the music and stuff. He doesn't do that as much anymore.
Oh God, when he used to do Highwaymen. Oh God.
I think he's kind of let that go.
Party, but better known the last 35 years since he got thunderstruck with a vision of the coming New World Order. I really respect him. I know he's a great guy.
I
David
didn't
Icke
realize that was the intro.
is here with us, and I think he serves a great purpose, being kind of the counterbalance to Elon Musk and the things he's been doing. But I'll be honest, I see Elon moving. You know, if he was pointed towards the New World Order 5 years ago, I see him moving rapidly.
I just want to look at
in a 180, and so I'm positive for the good changes happening.
This is really
how it's helping accelerate the awakening. I'm not going to turn the lights off and turn my back on Elon Musk. But that said, I don't think it's fair when David comes up with this term, the mainstream alternative media,
I can find that,
or minions of Elon Musk. I'm also not looking to gift horse in the mouth. I'm not censoring a damn thing I say. I'm more hardcore than I've ever been. And
Alex,
you got Joe Rogan.
They've been arguing about Musk for quite a while.
That might be why I thought
That's why I'm like, why is everyone acting like this is something new?
So here we go, because this is from February 9th of 2024. So this isn't even the most recent one. I just
Is that is that episode 899?
No, this is
I'm looking up Knowledge Fight 899 because that and that'll tell me.
Oh, okay.
The
Well,
date.
then this does match with 899. I did match the date, so I am on the right one. Okay, I'm right.
Their date is February 9th, 2024. Do you need a part?
No, I'm right, Steph. I have the right one. Thank you for looking. I did pick the right one. I think I was confused in my head because we're in 2025 now, and I forgot we jumped back in time to look at their debate. I forgot we went backwards. Yeah, they have been arguing because who sent me? I think you did, Quacks or Steph, perhaps, about them fighting.
Coming out saying Alex Jones is right about everything. New World Order with Aaron Rodgers. We got to stop him. I mean, I know Joe for 25 years. I know he's not an operative. He is waking up completely, just like David Icke did 35 years ago. And so that's where I'm at on this. And
Alex is so
I turned down the $10 million a year contracts and the book deals to be the new Rush Limbaugh, Roger Ailes, Fox News shows, because they were straight up, you're going to work for us now. You're going to do what we say. No. But if somebody says, here, you're banned off this, and now you can counter everybody that's been attacking you, then, I mean, I'm going to use it, okay? Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to put my knee pads on and, give Elon Musk a blowjob. So I'm going to let you run with this, and I don't really want to have a debate. I called it a debate because that makes it more interesting, but
it's a family show
discussion. But I will say, David, I admire you, and while you're criticizing me, and I get your daughter died, I'm so sorry for that. What a beautiful creature, but she's still alive. We all know that. She's transcended.
And I want to point something out.
Interface with her
That's gross.
Soon.
He's like, and your daughter died. I'm sorry, but we know she transcended. Meanwhile, let's debate about Elon Musk.
And I also just want to point. And I also want to point out, yes, David, I'm sorry that your daughter died, but I have a theory that she never existed in the first place.
David does not look pleased either. Look at his face. Alex bringing up his daughter.
And you know what? When you run around saying other people's kids didn't live or die, then then when your kid passes away, you deserve all. You deserve it right back. I'm
that
sorry.
look of pain on his face from Alex, like
he deserves it.
He's upset. Look at his face. He's like, I cannot believe Alex went there.
But he does deserve it.
Alex wanted to throw him off because Ike is always very like level. He's he keeps this poise, so you can tell Alex is trying to throw him off his game to get him to like slip up.
These are two highly skilled children having a fight.
Yeah. Spencer said, wow, Assassin Steph might be even better than Gangster Steph.
And beautiful stuff you've done. I retweeted it, and I'm sending emails, and I get it. It went in your spam. That happens to me too. It's part of the censorship. It's one of the biggest areas. It's those spam blockers.
And then
I'm trying to get you on, saying, hey, I don't.
No, you're fine, Steph.
I just called anytime. I just wanted to be clear that I know it sounds like I'm being cruel, but and I am truly, honestly, deep down in my heart, I am sorry that his daughter died. Okay, that is my true feeling, searching my heart, and I feel guilty for saying that, but I also do kind of feel that because I don't you don't get sympathy for your child dying if you can't even acknowledge that someone else's child died.
Vile conspiracists deserve vile conspiracies.
I have no sympathy for people like these. I really don't.
Thank you. I was struggling.
And David Icke he had a child from his turquoise triangle, and apparently like that lady never wanted him to have anything to do with that child. That's fine, but he has another child somewhere out there that he has had no contact with. Like, so whatever, David Icke.
And thank God that child is the luckiest of all of his, because I know at least one of them is.
Well, she's a psychic too, and I don't know what she got into after. She was part of the Turkish Triangle, Steph. She's the second psychic who talked to him. So I don't know how positive. I don't know.
Oh, and I did find an old document where David Icke channeled an ancient alien.
Yes, he used to, and that's another thing. He used to channel, and he used to do automatic writing. Like David Icke has tried just about everything possible. Like he's run the gamut.
All of that fits into the whole, alien flying saucer cult stuff, like that the channeled writing. The first like foundational book of the flying saucer cults was Star Guests, and that starts off explaining channeled writing
Mm-hmm.
or automatic writing.
That's what, yeah, Autumn. I was like, wow, he has really just done it all. There is not a piece that he didn't pick up, try to do, incorporate into his books. Like he has really just everything. Like it's really interesting. Has he ever talked about, and I'll play this again, I know people are waiting, but like androids like taking over things, how there's conspiratorial thinking, because I know this ties in with aliens, like androids being hidden, like the AI robot type conspiracies.
Well, he's talking about AI conspiracies in the video that we have paused.
Yes, but I mean like android robots, kind of that kind of thing is what I'm more speaking of.
Not that I know of.
He's not on that kind of
No.
tip. I'm gonna have to look into that to see if he is. Just because Carrie Cassidy and her crew that I study and different people I come across, they are so concerned with androids. Like there's good android bot robots, and then there's bad ones, and then there's also
And
AI
I think,
overlords.
And I think don't they have, because I heard I caught this on a Nonsense Bizarre episode, and they were talking about like some alien lore, that there's some element to like the UFO culture, especially with abduction culture, that there are certain aliens that are robots or something like that. Like they're placeholder robots for aliens.
It's so convoluted.
So weird. Like they created, it's like world building. Like if I was an English teacher, I always had this idea that like if I ever became a teacher, my dream assignment for the students, or my dream assignment as a student, would be a world building thing. And you take a whole semester to do it. And you create the flora and the, like Star Wars, Lord of the Rings, like these things, they built entire worlds. And these conspiracy theorists, they do this like universe building.
That's why I'm having trouble trying to remember the exact. I melted my brain over Christmas because I got tired of like the Stooniverse, so I just started watching Carrie Cassidy, and then it led to another person. Oh, well, let's see what this person talked about on Carrie's show. And I went to their channel, and I was like, I can see how people get pilled because I'm not a conspiracist, so I can take in the material, and I'm just like, what in the hell are they talking about? But I can see how people fall down the rabbit hole because it was like, oh, well, that was interesting. Let me see what this person has to say. What?
And
said,
yeah,
what?
that's and this stuff is like Alex is going out of his way to make excuses for Musk. That's not as honestly, that's not as much fun as Ike. Ike is, he doesn't even have to make anything up here with Musk.
Nope.
That's the fucked up thing. And for me, the lesson here is seriously to look like the lesser, to look like a bigger piece of shit between you and David Icke, like that takes skill.
Minion thing.
I'm not mad at you.
It's a little hurtful. I'm not mad at you. I'm real, but I've not been seduced by the dark side. I'm not dancing to the fiddle of Elon Musk. Go ahead, sir.
Right. Well, first of all, I'm not saying that people shouldn't use Twitter X. Of course, they should use it. I use it. It's a vehicle at the moment, for as long as it lasts, to get information out. And M in MAM doesn't stand for minion. It stands for mainstream.
He looks
and
thoroughly
there
annoyed.
has become a mainstream alternative media which has dominated the airwaves, if you like. And if we could just start, before we get into Musk, one of the things that I've observed, and that is that when I started out, there was no alternative media, just one or two people. And I watched the alternative media
one or
emerge.
two in the 90s, David?
Yeah, that's bullshit.
And
I know.
although,
I call bullshit,
it
David.
was still seeing left and right to a certain extent, there was a lot of streetwise people who were realizing that left and right is a puppet show, and that the real decisions that are working through left and right are being made by deeper levels than the left-right political level, what I call the global cult.
And creating a dialectic where they play the two sides of golf against, which you pioneered exposing.
Yeah, but one of the expressions of the global cult, a level down, is what people call the deep state. So when you look at a situation, maybe we can get into elements of the Putin interview in regard to this later. You see at the left and right level, we're left, they're the liberals, we're against the liberals.
Two wings, one
but you go a
bird.
step deeper into the rabbit hole,
Yep.
into the web, to the cult level,
This is Christian
and what
identity
appears
for-
to be the situation
flowing
here
through
can
there.
be very different here.
He's so like, and this is where he he's like, I'm against, and this is what Alex used to do. I'm against the left-right paradigm, and that's how David Icke's trying to play this, I think, right now.
Yeah,
Trying to be crafty.
This really ties into the Christian identity, which is where also you end up getting the reptilians, serpent seed, and all that. Yeah.
Notice, particularly since COVID, is that this, what I call mainstream of the alternative media that gets all the
not
numbers
me.
basically, has regressed back into this left-right paradigm. So if you look at the Putin interview, and there was a lot that I agreed with, I've been pointing out for years and years and years that NATO was poking him in the chest to get him to invade Ukraine. But if you look at it from this level, you've got a Putin interview with Tucker Carlson, and the response is, look, the liberals don't want it. Look at the liberals. Hey, it's great, isn't it? But go deeper and look at the bigger agenda. And that is the dismantling of Western society and the dismantling of Western power in the world. That's why they've put a moron in the White House for the last 4 bloody years, or whatever it is, 3 years. And that's why they've opened the southern border. That's why they've opened the borders to Europe, because they are dismantling Western culture.
That
And what is
like
happening is the power.
soft great replacement theory there, but he's not saying it as hard. Like he snuck that in very quickly there.
The great replacement theory comes out of Christian identity too. This is all wrapped in one big,
Very slick, David.
do.
Very slick.
In the world is moving eastward. It's moving to China, and it's moving to their alliance with Russia and the East in general, and Iran's part of that as well, and the BRICS.
And the
All this stuff
globalists
is
have to know their policies are doing that. And just to be fair, then, let's interject there. I'm not the apologist for Elon Musk here. But what I'm saying is he's come out massively against the open borders, says it's to destroy Western culture as well. He sounds like David Icke and Alex Jones.
Yeah. But it's easy to, words are easy to tell you what you want to hear, mate. I'll get more into Musk as we go along. The questions that are not being asked that should be. But anyway, what I'm saying is that you've got this movement eastward in terms of power, quite demonstrably. That's what the BRICS thing is all about. And so over a period of time, because you're coming from this cult level, not left and right, the cult level that works through left and right. So over this period, this cult has been orchestrating the transfer of global production massively out of America, American corporations and American jobs, and Europe too, into China and the East to give them power over the supply chain in so many areas, even basic things. And Taiwan is this real global center for things like superconductors and what have you. And if
mainly the chips for AI are almost all made there.
Yeah. So if China gets that, and that's the plan in the end, then they completely dominate global global society in so many ways. And so if you look at the Putin interview and you look at it not from left, right, or the liberals don't like it, you look at the cult level.
Oh my
It
gosh, him and his
suits
cult
the
level.
cult that the pushbackers in America and Europe and the West in general see Putin as some kind of hero.
Squeaks.
Because what was he doing in the interview with Tucker Carlson? He was pushing China. You shouldn't not stop negotiating with China. Oh, China's foreign policy is not aggressive. You tell the people of Africa and South America that it's not aggressive.
See, this is where David
So
comes up
it
across as sounding a
suits
little
that
bit
cult
reasonable.
level for Putin to be a hero. I'm not saying he
China's
didn't say
bad.
some right things about Ukraine. I'm saying.
By the way, David, I totally agree with you, and that was the big area, was him saying America's been surpassed, China's the way to go, Xi Jinping's not expansionary, but we know that the globalists set up communist China, put them in power in '49, transferred all the stuff to them. Now, 9 years ago, they claimed there was a split.
He's doing it again.
And this is all going on.
Dog
Take
whistle,
us to the
dog
end of
whistle.
your.
Yes, there's so
and
many.
Alex keeps trying to like reinterpret everything that Ike is saying, because the shit Ike's saying is not the shit that agrees with Alex.
No, and Alex is really struggling.
This whole thing about, Ike making sense, it really, these people in power aren't great people.
No.
And when you just really start with that, like, okay, Putin is a bad guy.
Yeah.
The Chinese communists are not our friends.
No.
You start with all these really basic concepts. Of course, he can sound reasonable. I mean,
And I want to. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
it's not hard to look at Elon Musk and say that that guy is not a good person.
No.
He is a goddamn supervillain.
Yeah.
But if you think that everyone in power is a supervillain, well, obviously that some of those people are going to fit the bill.
Yeah, and what I had typed in the chat earlier, I don't know if anyone saw it, is that the way to look at this is, and we were, I was mentioning about like the Overton window earlier. The way to look at it is, it's not that David Icke is sane. It's that the whole world is so fucking crazy that it has caught up with him. That's basically what it is. He seems sane because the world is so fucking batshit right now.
Yeah. Well, and listening to him, like if you listen with a critical ear, it's just little catchphrases. It's just little snippets. Like there's no real substance to it. You could listen to Pod Save America, or one of those junky, liberal podcasts, and you would get the same things. You wouldn't get anything different. Yeah, the acorn. I don't want her to walk across. That's my polydactyl. I didn't want her to use her thumbs and start pressing keys.
Little thumbs. They have little thumbs like Cartman.
But it's the same stuff that you could catch too. If you take out the aliens, reptiles, those, the bits that people are saying, oh, I agree with David Icke. You can catch that on any liberal junkie podcast that's saying the same thing tomorrow,
Well, yeah. If you've been saying for 30 years that, everyone in the government is Nazis and that the Nazis are trying to control the world, well, when the Nazis really start to ascend and take over the world, well, okay, you start to sound a little reasonable.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean you are reasonable.
No. And that's
Right,
what we're getting with him.
But the fact is with like we saw with, and I remember, okay, this was probably removed from his website. I remember seeing on David Icke's website, Elon Musk is a reptilian. And I put a thing in there, mythdetector.com. What is the origin of the conspiracy about lizard Elon Musk? So that's the only confirmation I can find that I did see, and it, David is probably where it came from, but he probably washed that because he knows people, and correct me if I'm wrong, if someone can find it and it hasn't been memory hold, I think that would be interesting.
Don't show your butt to the camera, Akron. Be a lady.
If he's removing some of the reptilian stuff, especially the stuff that's related to Elon, he's being a predator here. He's being a predator. He is. It's just like when Art Bell had William Luther Pierce on his show. William Luther Pierce sounded like a reasonable, rational person because he knew the audience that he was speaking to.
And part of that was because, his host didn't exactly give him any pushback.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Never.
I thought he did at first, and I listened to the whole thing. I'm like, fuck no.
Uh-huh. I know. It's interesting what you catch when you go back and listen to stuff.
Extrapolations. I respect your view.
So what you've got, as I've said so many times, China is the blueprint for the world. What's happening in China in terms of control and suppression and the digital concentration.
It's the model.
It's the model. And that was set up to be the model. So what I'm saying is, if you look at it at left and right, then you can see it a certain way, and most people have. But if you look at it from this cult big picture level, then what you have is the pushbackers of the West that kind of seeing Putin as some kind of hero when he's absolutely in bed with the Chinese, that the pushbackers stays a danger. So what people
and Putin, look, we're having a discussion here. Usually I have you on, you just rungs. I love hearing you, but I want to add some things. We have Putin praising Elon Musk, saying he's an amazing, wonderful person, and Elon won't talk about China. I was waiting for you to bring that up. That's the one big thing I see Elon is up to there. You talk about Neuralink too, but it's the China thing.
Yeah, well,
really, Alex, because you don't talk about that a lot
as we go along. But the point I'm making here is that the power is moving east, and the more that
sure, but my point is, David, you say it wasn't minion. I know ma'am means mainstream alternative media, but there were little comments. I don't have the tweets in front of me, the X things, but it was like little groveling people to the. Let me just finish. I'm saying you're here exposing. Hey, I'm talking about Elon being with China and Putin too. So I'm doing this every day, just like you are. So when you say that oh, I'm changing because you put my name on there. When I'm trying to be straight up with you. When you're saying I'm changing what I'm saying, I don't think you're tuning in because I'm saying the same stuff you're saying.
Ike has. Like I said, he has the eloquence and the poise so that his narcissism is a little less obvious. But this is essentially two men who have suffered narcissistic injury.
Yes.
But Alex's is more
Ike
noticeable.
looks better because Ike is sitting there calm, posed. He has that soft British accent where Alex comes across as this angry, bloviated, speaking American man that's just raging.
Remember, this is a man, and he is being very truthful when he says that he has been attacked for most of his life. Yes, that is a fact. This is a man who built up a very solid sticks and stones mentality, and he's still a narcissist, but he can hold that shit in. Alex can't. Alex doesn't. Alex is a narcissist with a thin skin. David is a narcissist with a thick one. And here we go.
A note about what Alex Jones is doing, if you'll notice, he's not just trying to throw him off by oh, this about your kid, and but then he'll go straight from that to blowing smoke up his ass. And
it's a psyop.
He's going back and forth because he's trying to destabilize and play with Ike's emotions to get a reaction out of him.
It's an interesting dynamic because David's very good at staying even keeled. And I don't think you can throw him off because his material is what it is. His topic is what it is. And he keeps saying, we'll talk about Musk later. This isn't about him right now. What I'm discussing is this. We'll move on to that later, Alex. I won't forget. But this is where we are right now, where Alex likes to throw his guest off with that. It's a good technique he has. Well, I mean, it's not good, but it's a technique that Alex has used throughout his career.
Man, buddy. And I agree with you.
Alex, it's not about you, mate, and it's not about me. It's about what the hell is happening in the world, and that's the point I'm making. Now, if we move to Elon Musk, the thing that I've been observing is that so many things that he would have been questioned about, and don't let's personalize this. I'm talking about the mainstream alternative media in general. Before he took over Twitter, turned it into X, the same things are not being questioned in the same way. I mean, the foundation of human control, where we're going, is connecting the human brain to artificial intelligence, not least via the cloud, the electromagnetic cloud of 5G, 6G, 7G to come, which is being generated by the towers. But fundamentally, if you want it global, it's being generated by low orbit satellites. Now, without this cloud, this agenda cannot happen. This is the cloud that Ray Kurzweil at Google talks about, where he said that the human brain is going to be connected to the cloud, artificial intelligence. And then he says artificial intelligence will do more and more of human thinking until human thinking as we know it is basically negligible.
Yeah.
So this cloud is fundamental.
What is he talking about?
He's connecting Starlink to this idea of how do you connect everyone to this control matrix?
It's like a universal matrix, essentially, right?
He's saying that not only is he trying to put chips in your brain, but he's also the one that's setting up the infrastructure for the control system with Starlink.
Like a hive mind kind of thing?
Yeah.
Well, no, because a hive mind has more of a collective thought process. But no, he's talking about a more distinct direct control system.
Bugsy said Kurzweil and his called it the singularity. Huh. I've heard the singularity phrase used before.
Yeah.
I'm very I was like, what in the hell is he talking about? Because he gish gallops. He just throws out so much that you really can't take in. And if you were an average listener, you hear what I would take away from that if I was, taking myself out of who I am. I hear 5G, they're trying to do bad stuff. I don't understand AI technology. That's what I'm taking in from it if I was an average listener and I wasn't really, you know what I mean?
Well, he's also battling. He's also battling Alex Jones, trying to throw him off, and every time he gets halfway into a point, and Alex Jones interrupts him.
Yeah, this is true because I was like, what?
Again, two narcissists.
And space.
Wake up.
Of SpaceX satellites to beam this stuff at the Earth. And so the question is, if you are against this new world order, this human control system and hive mind, why are you facilitating it and bragging about it in posts on Twitter X that you're putting these low orbit satellites up there? And if Elon Musk is such a rebel, such a threat to the system, how come that SpaceX gets all these contracts at a massive amounts of money,
That is a creepy
people like
picture.
It
the
was.
Pentagon. Only a few months ago, they were awarded a contract by the Pentagon to take over and create something called Starshield, which is the military government communication system version of Starlink. Now, these things should be questioned. When Tucker Carlson interviews Elon Musk, when Joe Rogan interviews Elon Musk, they should be asking, how do you square this? Now, the connection to the cloud is meant to be via chipping.
Uh-oh, there we go.
And here we have Neuralink.
There you go.
From someone who says AI could be the end of humanity, and yet turns out more and more AI stuff. The Neuralink has just had the first human trial. Now, I think it's a bit of a kind of diversion, because the real connection to the cloud is through nanotechnology, not at least that which
I
was
wish I had nanotechnology in me. That
going
would be
down the
amazing. Could I
same
go-
road of chipping.
Okay. So David, you're a great you guy that
Cut 'em
does a
off
great
before he makes
job
the point.
lecturing, and I agree with everything you're saying. But let me just interject. You're bringing this up.
I'm just making my point, mate.
You're getting about 80% of the time. So all I'm saying is, and I'm not trying to be mean to you, but I don't
care, mate.
It's okay. You know, hey, we're friends, aren't we? I like you. You like me.
Yeah, just go ahead with what you say.
But I'm going to ask you, do you think I'm an agent of the New World Order?
No, the point is, as I've said many times,
I just have
you
to
don't
say,
have.
you cannot throw David Icke off. He does not fucking care. Like oh my gosh, look at that picture. Look at David Icke. But how funny it was. He's like, I don't care. People have been making fun of me for saying I was God. What is it? God's
The Son of God.
yeah, the Son of God for years. Do you think I care about you, Alex Jones, saying stuff to me? Get out of here. That was so funny. I love it. Oh, that was brilliant. Is that PG Paul Joseph Watson back there?
I was just thinking that.
Oh my gosh. That is Paul Joseph Watson. A babe in the woods. Holy shit. He was young. Boy, that photo's old. My gosh. It's admirable in a psychotic way. It really is. Paul Joseph Watson.
A knowing
Steph, look at
agent
this young-
of
You missed a young picture of Paul Joseph Watson back in the day. Oh, where was it? I don't think I'm going to get it back.
and they're the people that get the promotion and the numbers.
There we go.
Then you don't have to be part of it.
There's a young picture of Paul Joseph Watson coming up.
No, I agree. And I'm the guy that coined the term left-right paradigm. What I'm trying to say here is, if I saw the left waking up and taking on the globalist, I would support that. It's not a leftist thing. It's a populist awakening. And I see the major beachhead worldwide of populism being called right-wing. So that just identifies that. But I totally get what you're saying. But here's what I wanted to agree with you on. When he came out and said, we're going to put it in shopping malls and everybody's going to get brain chips 5 years ago, I said, look, they've already got this in government laboratories. Microsoft's doing it, IBM. He's popularizing it. I don't like this. Then he backed off that, which I thought was a terrible idea, that you have brain chips to go to school. But if somebody's paralyzed or somebody's blind, then
I was just going to pause and say we can wrap up at like 12:15-ish, because I know like East Coast and stuff, like getting late for us old heads.
I think the technology is great. The problem is, what Trojan horses will they put in? I just wanted to add that. So I'm not an apologist for Elon Musk. I've just been looking at all the angles of it. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, as I was saying, his company Neuralink is pushing the way, at least popularizing the concept of a brain chip connecting to artificial intelligence. And if you connect to artificial intelligence becomes your mind. And then you've got another agenda. These are all WEF agendas, by the way, which is
WEF.
Autonomous vehicles. where the computer will decide where you can and cannot go, not your personal choice.
Minority
And so you
Report.
have Tesla. So what I'm saying is, you look at the companies and the things that are done with that he's fronting up, and these need to be questioned. And since he took over Twitter X, in very large areas, they're ceasing to be questioned. I'll give you an example.
No, I think that's fair, and I want you to make
way-
your point. But then after you're done, because I don't want to forget this.
Yes.
I think it's important that if there's anyone out there listening who has artistic, creative leanings, be very aware that Teslas and Cybertrucks are heavily secured. And if you are going to be doing any artistic interpretations upon such medium, to be very, very careful.
Yes, they are very sophisticated and have a lot of security on them. That is a very good point.
Particularly
Let's
cameras.
just say you're completely
Yes.
right. That's why we have you here, because we're not censoring, and I respect you and we really like you a lot, David.
He almost said, I
Even though you're a
love
little perturbed
you.
with me.
I almost said, I love you, David.
Let's say he is a terrible guy. What is their plan with him then? And why are they doing this? Why are they having him act like he's on our side? That shows me we're really winning big time if they're having to send him in to try to co-op things. But just go ahead.
Right. Well, yeah, I'll come to that in a second. And I want to, but I just want to make this
See, you can't throw him off. Alex
point.
got annoyed. That
There's
look
a
on his
Dutch
face.
actor. I'm not picking on her. It's just a good example. This is something that is across the board. There's a Dutch activist called Eva Vlandingenbroek, and she did a video. I don't know, maybe just a bit over a year ago, and it was excellent. It was her speaking, and she said, "Elon Musk is not your friend. He's pushing the world towards transhumanism." And she was right. Round of applause. But the same Eva today is, like a lovesick teenager in relation to Elon Musk. Oh, yeah, Elon this, Elon that. Elon drops a tweet supporting one of hers. Oh, thank you, Elon. This is not where we should be going. We shouldn't be eulogizing anyone. We should be dispassionately, calmly looking at everything.
Oh, David.
So let's just look at the AI agenda and how this fits in. You've got people, your Bill Gateses and your Klaus Schwabs, and what they're doing is going hard sell AI, connecting AI to the
Gotta be
human
the Dutch
brain
lady he was talking about.
Oh, probably. Yeah, has to be.
and human genetics. That's what needs to happen. But of course, there's a vast number of what I call pushbackers in the United States, in Europe, in the world in general, that don't want that. They're not having that.
And by the way, Bill Gates came out 3 months ago and said, we've got to stop the hard sell. He actually said that.
Yeah, well, so along comes Elon Musk. And Elon Musk does the soft sell. He is saying, oh, I'm worried about AI. Oh, God, it's very terrible. Could be the end of humanity. And then continues to push the AI agenda.
I'm just a funny guy. Listen to my voice.
Too bad. It can't be as bad because Elon's doing it and he owns Twitter and he's letting people back on Twitter. And these are the things I'm saying that, you know, we've got to keep questioning these
now,
things.
I know what you're saying. They did 5 years of total censorship and it failed. So they said, go to plan B and bring in a co-opter to create a false dialectic of Elon on one end of freedom and the hard sellers on the other. And you're saying now we're missing the whole paradigm over there because they put us into a small window.
What I'm saying is, look at the outcome. What is the outcome of the hard sell? What is the outcome of the soft sell? At the end of those roads is the same thing. Humans connected to artificial intelligence. And what you're trying to do is pull the people that are resisting the hard sell, you're trying to pull them in.
All right, stay there, David. You're making your points, but I agree with most of what you're saying, but you made statements and things, so I'm not bad for interjecting and bringing things up and telling you I'm saying the same thing I do. Good. I'm doing the same thing I do every day. You're on. I love it. And that's what we're doing. So I'm not ma'am. I'm not part of ma'am. Let's just get that straight. All right. We got David Icke with us. We'll be right back. We'll talk about this more. It's fascinating.
Oh, there we go.
Gunther in Tennessee.
So that was a little bit of them fighting. I thought that was pretty funny. I have my Twitter up. I'll pull up David Icke's some of his recent Twitter things, but oh boy, those two. But I think that comes down to where, like, it's not the lesser of two evils. They're both really bad. They're both evil. Like
they're both evil, but it's very obvious that, you know, Icke, in their own paradigms, Icke obviously is the one who is sticking with their actual paradigm, and Alex Jones is the one that's very obviously trying to pervert it.
Oh yeah, I
And-
would agree, and I think that's like David's a purist.
And you can even see in like their tactics, like Alex Jones is moving all over the place. Like, I agree with you, but I don't agree with you. You know, I love you, man, but you know, hey, you know, you insulted me, and you know, sorry your daughter's dead, but you know.
Yeah, he tried to throw him off the entire time. I think Alex, like, if I was a fan of Alex, let's say that I had followed him and I had always been, like, the hoops that you have to jump through to think that he's still this renegade man for the people, and you know, he speaks truth to power. I just don't understand how the cognitive dissonance there is just something going back from this day of a guy building, you know, rebuilding the church for the Branch Davidians and taking on, you know, conspiracy theories for the World Trade Center and speaking out against George W. Bush and that administration to where he is now, you know, with Elon Musk, who is.
And yeah, and I think it's important that Dan had brought this up, that even though Alex has pretty much always been a shithead, he represented something important. He represented the alternative media, which did play an important role. Dan points this out, and I'm feeling it as he's saying it, and he says that is such a shame to see that this icon of what the alternative media was supposed to be is just like
Sold out?
Yeah, he didn't buy in. He sold out. He just you know, Dan made a point, like when he goes over some of the earlier Knowledge Fight episodes, and he brings it up several times, and we're at over 1,000 episodes. He brings it up when Alex hitched his wagon to Trump. He did make a mistake because the signs were all there that Trump was a megalomaniac, however you say it.
Megalomaniac.
Yeah. And he had the predilections of a dictator. All the signs were there. They were there for a very long time. And Alex especially should have seen this more than anyone. And hitching himself to Trump, now he is in it for the long haul. And the time is done. You can't split from Trump now. It's do or die. And now he spends all of his time talking about how he can't get through the news because there's so much of it, and you can hear him getting angry, and you can hear that his job is now just justifying this egregious. Alex should be against immigration, but he should also be against the mistreatment of immigrants who are being shipped out of the country, because in his early days, Alex was a staunch. He talked about all the time about rights and about if a cop stops you, this is how you say this, and that. And probably some of the shit he was saying was probably sovereign citizen, but it was still something that he pretended to care about.
Yeah, he should be against. I mean, you just look at Elon Musk and what he's doing with Doge. Like, that is everything that he wrote against. I mean, we're talking about a man who didn't want to put his thumbprint on to go into Disney. Like he railed against that for how long? Alex Jones. He has totally sold out
And
every.
he pitched a fit at the Department of Motor Vehicles
Mhm.
the one day because, and you know, this is, and in the Sandy Hook book, Elizabeth Williamson, she spoke with Alex and Alex's ex-wife Kelly, and Kelly related how they had to drive everywhere in an RV because Alex didn't want to fly and go through the airport security because it was against his viewpoints.
Mm-hmm. Money talks.
Morals walk.
Yep. Yeah, so this is David Icke today. This was 6 hours ago. You are using opposition to the woke mind virus. And this is where David Icke comes across. He uses woke mind virus against Elon Musk, but he's combating Elon. And this is where I say, don't hand anything to him because he's using woke mind virus there to impose the Great Reset mind virus, which is actually far more dangerous because AI control, once in place, becomes virtually irreversible. That, of course, is the idea, as you well know. He got in a fight with Russell Brand again 6 hours ago. And this one here makes it seem like he's reasonable. And this is, again, David, the way he is. You've been promoting...
I got in a fight with Russell Brand?
Yes.
Well, they were just buddy-buddy, just like a month
He's been
ago.
feuding with Russell Brand off and on. Yeah. And here he goes, like he's going after him. And I think this is just
because
me.
these are light. When David talks about the mainstream alternative media, what he's talking about is, and Alex Jones is a very good example of this. Alex Jones is the dipping
minion.
toe in the, well, yeah, well, no, but he is a kind of dipping your toe in the water. Once you really get involved with Alex Jones, you see how fucking batshit crazy it is. But once you dig deep enough, you're already in. And it's just but Alex presents it to you kind of in, it's watered down. And once you follow it to the extreme, that's when you get to Ike.
And I think David Icke sees Russell Brand and as like trying to gatekeep some of this stuff and being like
that's what he calls them. Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Gatekeeping. Yeah.
Right. Because they talk, they'll tell you that like Joe Rogan will have like his flat earth friends on as guests and they'll all chuckle and have a good time. But Joe Rogan won't tell you that the people making the earth flat are the Jews or something. It only goes so far. So that's what he means by mainstream alternative media. And you could kind of say that where Tucker is now in his career, that he has kind of ascended to because Fox is the ultimate example of the mainstream alternative media. And once you go a little bit deeper, you get to Alex, and then you keep going deeper and deeper and deeper. You get to Jeff Rentz, you get to David Icke.
I've never seen him use the term MAGA media. I'm going to have to search that in David Icke's. That's an interesting term that he used.
But he's probably referring to Fox, OAN, Newsmax, Right Side, Broadcasting.
Breitbart.
Those are part. Breitbart. Those are all parts of the gatekeeper because these media outlets invite you to get your toes wet, but you don't want to put your whole foot in yet until you're sure of the temperature.
He retweeted here too, and I think this is another play. But and again, I think David Icke does believe this stuff. But he retweeted this tweet, and it's about will the D class erase Trump from the Epstein's list? Donald Trump and Jeffrey Epstein were tangled up in ways most people never grasped. So he retweeted this stuff about Trump and Epstein, and I thought that was pretty interesting because David Icke there is playing up to, he hates Trump, but he's like, hey, are they going to release those Epstein files? You know, Trump was involved in that. Like, and that's recent. Like, these are all, as you can see, the dates on this stuff.
And look what he's saying right here. Anyone remember when the alternative media was about holding power to account? And that was what Dan was saying in that one knowledge fight.
Do you want to know who
episode.
he posted this to? Hold on. Let me zoom out. Alex Jones,
Alex
a dog begging.
Yep. But you know, and David doesn't even need to listen to knowledge fight to get. You don't need to listen to knowledge fight to get the same takeaway that Dan took away.
Like,
from
I
this.
thought that was hilarious because Alex had tweeted, watched Elon Musk launch Operation 1776 on January 25th. And there's David, like, did I do good? Like, sitting up like a good doggy. Like, he's trashing him right there.
And here's a funny thing. Right now, Alex should be the one. And fuck you, David Icke, for using that image. Alex.
No, but I wanted to show that he also is a 9/11 truther too. That's why I bookmarked that.
Alex is one of the shit. I forget what I was saying. I'm sorry. No. He should be the one doing what the Associated Press is doing right now. The Associated Press of all the mainstream media companies are going after Trump hardcore. That should be Alex. That should be Alex's place. I think that's something interesting to kind of look at right now. Is that what the AP is doing? That's what Alex should be doing.
Sunken cost.
Yep. During that thing that we were just watching, Alex Jones actually goes, they take it to Twitter. And Alex Jones at that point believed that stupid
Adrian
Dittman was Elon Musk.
And this was Adrian's. This was like Adrian. Well, this was Adrian's first appearance in the coverage on Knowledge Fight. I don't know if this was his first, Alex space. I'm not sure.
And I was like, Alex Jones believed that, and then all of Blue Anon fell for it, and they were like, there's probably still people that believe that out there that really is Elon Musk.
I thought it was a possibility, but I also thought like there was no point in trying to figure it out because it just seemed like it just seemed like a waste of time.
Yeah, it was a time suck. Like I didn't really care.
Yeah.
One way or another, it didn't change my life if Elon was pretending to be somebody on Twitter. I mean, whatever. That was just their debate. That's David Icke. Let's see. Oh, this is when their fight happened recently. Hold on.
That's his daughter's cat.
That's
his
really?
Daughter's cat. Yeah, that's his cat. That picture was taken in his house because that was taken in the same location. I don't know if you remember when some of the Sandy Hook stuff was happening and Alex had to itemize all of his belongings. He fucking staged a picture with his daughter holding the fucking cat in the kitchen.
He's so gross. So, what's today? The 27th? So David and Alex were going at it not but 2 weeks ago. Grow up, Alex. How old are you? Your great awakening is the greatest sleeping. You just can't see it given the trance you're in. And Alex was like, I don't get your behavior, David. You constantly talk about me.
Is that I didn't get to see a picture of how thin he is. Scroll back up.
I told you he's disappearing.
Whoa, dude.
Well, Ike is getting a gut.
I told you. I think he's taking Ozempic. Like he has to be.
Well, he better damn well finish taking it soon because isn't that one of the things they're trying to like fuck?
I told you, like he has disappeared into nothing. Like he is just like disappearing.
I don't like this because it makes him. He looks so much like Stone Cold Steve Austin right there.
As long as you don't start saying, there you go. The answer, roses are red, men can't be. Oh God, Alex, fuck you. That was transphobic. Fuck you, Alex. I don't get your behavior, David. You constantly talk about me, but won't respond to public and private invitations to come on my show. Regardless, I think your commentary is helpful to the larger debate and will always love you. Then he shares a picture of his cat.
And also, that was taken in his house. Dude, why would you do that? You're supposed to be paranoid that the government is out to get you. Why would you put your family at risk like that? But then again, this is the same man who let his 14-year-old son Rex on his fucking show. And now Rex is a fucking monster.
Yep.
Didn't they try to like value the cat?
Yes.
Yeah, they said the cat was like some kind of purebred with papers. And do you want to take my daughter's $1,000 cat away from me? Well, dude, given your history with dogs, maybe the cat would be better in another home.
Oh my God. What is this from? February 8th of 2025. David is still...
I'll tell you this. I have never heard that David Icke was in some way responsible for a dog's death. I will give him that much.
No, I've never heard any stories about a dog named Nonk. That's for sure.
And I haven't heard that David Icke might have probably killed a guy.
Body slamming anybody on the... Yeah, I've never heard that. I've heard a lot of other stuff. But yeah, is he talking about big balls? What is he talking about? Yeah, so like David Icke is just, he's feuding here again with Russell Brand and Alex Jones. I don't, it's almost like, remember when Alex was feuding with Joe Rogan to get on his show and said he would like, what was it, strangle him or end him or something?
This is what, politically, this is what they want, because these are all narcissists. These people, when they fight, they have to remember, they all have Columbo syndrome. And another thing, just one more thing. That this is cross-platform. Even if it's a genuine fight that they are having, and it probably is genuine to some extent, this benefits them, because some liberals might see this and might go, oh, well, I liked Russell Brand in that one movie and blah, 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 this and that, this and that, and this and that. If you still like Russell Brand, read the independently garnered descriptions of how his eyes turned black before sexually assaulting women. Several different women described this very specific factor about him independently of one another. So keep that in mind.
He's just a gross human being.
And the whole thing of this is, okay, there's a fight between Icke, Alex, and Brand, blah, blah, blah. Everyone's taking sides or whatever. Guess what? One of those motherfuckers is going to pull in an average normie, everyday Joe, who's going to find something in this triangular fight that appeals to them. And so this when conspiracy theorists fight, it does kind of benefit all of us, but it also does kind of benefit them in some ways.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. I was just no, it does, absolutely. And like when I was reading all of that stuff, like it was very clear that there's no reason, like they weren't engaging David. Like they weren't trying to get his attention. He was very much seeking out them. Like Russell Brand wasn't like, hey, David, hey, David, hey, David. It was David seeking them out, very much like Alex did with Joe Rogan, whenever he wanted to be.
That's awesome that you caught that. That I didn't even catch that, but you caught that. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
Very
obvious.
Was really going after Icke.
Who's that?
Alex was really going after Icke.
See, I listen to Alex. I listen to his live a couple times a week, but I don't listen to the whole thing because it's so fucking long.
It was more of what was going on social media. Like,
okay.
And it's like trying to watch the Super Bowl. It's like 5 seconds of actual football and then 10 minutes of commercials. That's what it's like trying to listen to like actual InfoWars. Just commercial. And there are times when you're like, is this a commercial or is this part of his like newscast?
Exactly. And I'll get up and I walk around the house because InfoWars isn't like something like I'm like, oh, I really got to get the hard hitting stuff from Alex. It's what the hell's he saying today? What's he baking? Like, because it bleeds over into the world, social media, the news and everything. So I'll walk upstairs, downstairs, I clean. Sometimes I'm sweeping and I'll come back and most of the time it's commercials. You're right. A 15-minute long commercial. Well, this was fun tonight, you guys. Quacks, you're going to come back?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I love.
Well, thank you, everybody who came tonight. Thank you,
Quacks.
to
Thank you so much, Quacks.
Steph and Quacks. Thank you so much, Quacks. Thank you for coming and like sharing your knowledge and your very handsome voice. That Steph and I were talking about it there. We were like, they don't get to see how cute he is, but they do get to hear his handsome voice.
Yeah, I was told so many times back when I worked at the New Age shop, everyone was like, you should do like the guided meditation tapes.
I would fall for that. Like, yeah, you have a very good voice.
Can you say good morning, good evening, wherever you are, whatever the case may be?
I don't know if I can pull that off right now. I'm pretty sleepy, actually.
I know.
Yeah.
Way past my old man bedtime.
Me and Steph, like midnight's usually our like top off time. I think one time we got wild and crazy and went to 12:30, but midnight is like usually our cutoff.
Yeah.
All right. Good night, you guys. I love you. And so much fun. I loved it. Yes, it was great. Yes. Thank you, everybody, for coming tonight, and everybody who's going to watch later. Good night.
Bye.
I don't need new tires, but stay tuned for the next episode.
We're going to have to be smart. We're going to have to be strategic. We're going to have to be aggressive.
I'm an alpha guy.
I'll flip a table every time you aren't getting by.
Let's go. Just push.
It's all psychological warfare.
I'm not part of QAnon.
We know what they are doing.
For Trump.
If shit goes wrong, like I will literally have to leave the country.
Stop that.
I'll land my initial plane.
Okay,
hi-fi. This isn't the hi-fi show.
Good night. Nighty night.